Hi guys, this is Manigandan. Today we are discussing about iPad split screen and multitasking feature, as well how we enable this feature into our application. It gives user more ways to enjoy iPad and more ways to use our app. Apple has lot of document for do this in Swift, but this video goes to explain about how we enable this to hybrid application like ionic, Capacitor and Cordova. See what are the steps are we covered in this video. Enable split view in Xcode, drop interaction for WK web view, perform drop and pass the object to JS. Let into deep. Open the Xcode and click the app and general settings tab. Uh, Choose the iPad and version and enable all the orientation, device orientation. Then uncheck the required full screen. That's it. We done enable the split view in our app. Just run and ensure that the application build success and installed in the simulator. Now it's open. I am enable the dock and select one of the app. Like I am going to choose Safari browser and drag into right side. So now our app support for split screen. So left side is our app and right side for the Safari. Both apps show the content correctly. So left side is I open one website. So now we done a split view for our application, and we are going to check the second step, enable drop interaction for web view. Most of the hybrid application use WK web view controller from native and render our UI into that. So when we enable split view, we need to register drop interaction for that WK web view. Actually, we need to create custom plugin for access native APIs in Capacitor. So we need to enable drop interaction for WK web view. We need to do the same. Let's see quick discussion for how to create local plugin and how access native API. Right click the plugin folder and create the Swift file. New file and search in the Swift at the top right and choose the file and click the next. I am going to create money plugin. So this extension is money plugin.shift, and I am going to create another one file. It's for object C file. So I select that and next, and I do the same name for that money plugin. So this extension is money plugin.m. Created files available in the plugin folder. Open money plugin.shift file and import uh, import capacitor, and this class is derived from CAP plugin, and I have created one function like enable interaction with object C annotation. So our capacitor understand that this is a function, and we need to open the money plugin.m file and register our plugin and event. So our application will recognize these functions and plugins in runtime. We done a local plugin to access the native API. So now we need to enable the drop interaction for WK web view. We have a function name update drop interaction. So in this function we have enabled drop interaction for WK web view. Actually web view and this variable we can access WK web view for capacitor plugins. So web view is a public variable for WK web view controller object. Actually WK web view have lot of subviews, so we need to enable drop interaction for that subview. So WK web view have scroll view, WK scroll view, and the WK scroll view have contain one subview that is called content view. So we need to enable that content drop interaction for that content view in this function. So we do this all the action in main.sync function, because we can access the UA controller only in main thread, so that's for avoiding the exceptions. So here I have enabled the add interaction for that content view using the self. It means the all the dedicated methods and the implementation happen in this class. So I have implemented the interface like UI drop interaction on this class. The Apple document it explained for enable the drop interaction we need to implement three dedicated methods. One for find the object and either to refuse or either to accept. The second one for using the proposal, like whether this object track object is copy or move or cancel. And the final one is doing the performance. So once receive the object, what we do and implemented in the UA. So we implemented this three dedicated function in our class. So first one is handling the session. I just written the true because in our application access most common all the function all the objects types, so I written the true. So the second one is copy action. We enable the drop for whole web view, so we must copy the track object, so I written the copy operation for the second function. The final one is performance. So here I got the object and I am going to parse it, then use into our UA. Here I using the drop file types, the custom class, to drop the objects. So we done enable WK web view and doing the performance drop for now. Now we are doing the perform drop. We are using drop file type custom class, so it will be support multiple type of objects. So when I load the objects, I handle the error. When it error happening, I just print out for debugging purpose, and after the parse I just print out the object value in the print, so for the debugging and understanding purpose. The drop file is derived from NS item provider. For perform drag and drop interaction, every custom class should be derived from NS item provider. Here I have defined some class properties like data, extension and object value, and just check the UTI for different text style like HTML, PDF, plain text, etc. After check which extensions come from the drag object, I have parsed in the end of the function. I have just passed as a string because I have mentioned the string values only. In in this function we have to mention different UTI, what what are the object we have support for our application. Here I have just simply registered HTML, PDF, RTA, XML, message and so on. So I have in object section I have called this init function. So once parse the object, it will be assigned the properties like extension, file data and object values. Finally, I have parsed the object as string. Since all the type are in the string types, we can parse the object based on the UTI types. Let's look how we parse the object into JS. This is the way we have to call the registered event function from Swift to JS. I just called my plugin event function. Let me open the client file index.html from source. Here I have one button control in UI. Then drop interaction and event registration will happen when click that button. Enable interaction as a plugin function for registered drop interaction. Also, I have registered the event registration my plugin event. So the plugin will be called this function. Let's set the breakpoint and run the project. Here the function to called event registration my plugin event. So once drop the object parsed, it will be call that event. Then index html my plugin event. So our object will be passed here only. I just show toaster once receive that object. So run the project. So here we already done, and click the OK button. So in the breakpoint will be triggered update drop interaction. So WK will be enabled drop interaction. So I continue. So here show the enable drop, and I select some text from the browser and drag into our application. So once it is dragged, the perform delegates will called. So here I have objects and pass into client. So the toaster will be show with HTML content. So I have tried different application for different type of string. So I am going to open a reminder R as a split view. And drag into one item into from a reminder and a drop into our application. So once it dropped into our application, the same delegate will be called and pass the value into client side. This is the plain text. It's showing the plain text in the roster. Hey guys, we done. So we can find our full source and the documentation link in the description. Also please like and subscribe our channel. Share your feedback in comments. Thank you.